Well, hello, hello, hello. Should you be counting calories or chemicals? I'm Jane Hogan, the wellness engineer. This is Wellness by Design, and I'm really excited to welcome to the show today Aimee Carlson, the Toxin Terminator. Welcome, Aimee.
Thanks, Jane. I'm so glad to be here. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, I know my audience is going to love what you've got to say. And I just love the Toxin Terminator. It's just so like feisty, right? So I'm going to read your bio that I've got right here. So Aimee Carlson is the Toxin Terminator. She is the host of the Toxin Terminator podcast, a best-selling author and featured expert guest on numerous podcasts and summits. Aimee has spent the last 7 years removing hidden toxins from her own home to be free of chronic disease and has helped hundreds do the same. Through her podcast, she has access to some of the top doctors, healers, experts, and industry leaders in the natural health and wellness field. Aimee's passion is giving hope to those who are still suffering, getting no relief from traditional medicine, and ready to take control by detoxing and cleansing their health and their environment. Oh, Aimee, that is so beautiful. And I know just reading that you've had your own health journey to get you to being the toxin terminator. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Sure. So, golly, I don't know if you want the we'll do the short version because this is a short, a
Okay.
shorter show. But we all have things that we go through in life, and mine is no different than many others. I had a lot of female issues, lots and lots of reproductive issues happening inside my body. And I
Hmm.
had no idea why. I just thought this is what happens sometimes to women. And because a lot of my friends did too. And I hear that a lot from other women that I work with is, well, my friends all feel this way as well. And so we kind of normalize that not feeling healthy. I had issues with migraines. I got migraines frequently, several times a week. I actually lost vision on the left side because of my migraines. I had headaches every single day. I was going from doctor to doctor to doctor. I was being prescribed all kinds of medication. I was put on the pill. I was taken off the pill. I was given shots. I was taken off of shots. I had ablations done. Finally, they did a hysterectomy. And if I knew what I know today, I would have not had any of that done, but I didn't know. What I knew back then was that when the body is broken, we go to the doctor and they're supposed to fix us. I
Hmm.
even had many doctors telling me that there's nothing physically wrong with me, so it must be emotional, it must be mental. And so here, let me prescribe out um a sedative for you. Maybe that will help. Well, you have a really high stress job. I At that time I owned several automotive franchise facilities, and so it was like, well, duh, tell me something I don't know. But I also viewed it as, this is everyday life for me. I didn't know what stress really felt like because I was under so much all the time. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Oh, yes, totally. We normalize it. We don't really know what it's like to not have stress.
Right. We don't know what calm feels like. It's like, oh my gosh. So, I just went through and I did so many different things. I was exposed to so much through my work. I actually was an automotive mechanic for 30 years. I worked on cars for a living. So
Really?
I had a lot of exposure there. But as I learned about natural health and I learned what I could do to heal my body naturally, and started really learning about toxins, I got mad because my industry in the automotive is highly regulated. And when I come to find out that in here in the United States, we don't have to do anything. We can put a product out on the shelf and you have to prove it's not safe. There's no regulation to prove it's safe before it gets out in the in for the
Mm.
consumer. And so that's why I created the Toxin Terminator, is I wanted to give this a voice. We all know that in order to get healthy, we need to eat right and we need to exercise. But so many people don't understand that there's so many things that we're using every single day in our life that are causing us to be sick. And that's what I wanted to bring light to, because back in when I first
Mm.
started, there wasn't people talking about this.
No. And well, so many things in there. First of all, like I love that you're in the automotive industry, and I can understand. Like I came from a male-dominated field as well, and how you've taken that and really you're just like getting to it, right? And taking action.
You learn very quickly, right?
Yeah, yeah. But so many of these symptoms that you had are very much normalized. Oh, it's normal to have
Mhm,
headaches all the time. Oh, it's
mhm.
normal to have, cramps and all these other things. And what you and I have learned since is that all of these are definitely common, but they are not normal.
Right.
And so that you're out to show us that they aren't normal, but you're looking specifically at toxins and
Yes.
how we're exposed to them. And what's really interesting, I looked up this statistic when I was preparing for your show, and it was something like, just let me find it now, that the average person is exposed to over 700,000 chemicals every day. That kind of blew my mind.
Well, and here's the thing. The statistics are very scary. As I dug in, and Jane, you know it too, when we start digging in, and statistics, when beyond even toxicity, but we get into other statistics, as a society, we should be kind of mortified right now.
Yeah.
We've got obesity rates well over 50%. We have diabetes in the millions of numbers, not even diagnosed. We've got millions that haven't even been diagnosed having
Hmm.
diabetes,
Hmm.
uh, ADHD in our children.
I know.
As women, and I think your audience is primarily women, this is important that we understand our kids are being diagnosed on the spectrum at a rate of 1 in 13. 1 in 13 children. What is going on?
Yeah, I
We
know.
need, yeah,
Yeah, it's sad. So I guess what we want to give people is how can we turn it around?
right.
First of all, awareness. So
Yes, yes.
awareness is great, and that's what we're doing. But what I really love about the work that you do is you give people like things they can do to
Right.
reduce their
Yes,
toxic exposure. And by the way, anyone that's watching live, if you have any questions for Aimee, just post them in the comments and we'll address them right away. So, but on,
absolutely.
Aimee. What we know that toxins are leading to inflammation and disease,
Right.
and I know that you say they're number one.
It,
So what can people do about this?
Absolutely. So there's lots of places that we can start. And that's the thing. We just need to start. I don't want, everybody to feel overwhelmed, because honestly, toxins are everywhere. They're in our water, air, food, they're everywhere. But we can learn to take our hand off the fire, right? And
Right.
we can't heal the body if we still got that hand planted on the stove. Right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yep.
that burn's going to keep on burning. So we got to take the hand off the fire. So, in my book, The Toxin Terminator, I talk about the 5 pillars of living a toxin free lifestyle. And if it's okay, Jane, we can spend some of our time just walking through each one of those pillars. And I can give you kind of my top tips for each one, because then
Perfect.
that way you guys are learning. Okay, this is kind of the first place to start, because it's like an onion, is how I like to view it. Is
Hmm.
that when we look at toxins, there's stuff that we recognize immediately, and that's kind of the top layer. We peel that back and we start making those changes. And then there's another layer, and we need to work on that. I'm 8 years into my journey. I'm still peeling layers, guys. It doesn't end, there's always more to learn.
Hmm.
So let's start with the 5 pillars. And what they are is air,
Yep.
water, food, absorption, meaning your skin, okay, and mental. So
Okay.
there's 5 pieces to the puzzle. So
Hmm.
air. My number one toxin I tell everyone to focus on with air is fragrance. All right.
Yeah.
Fragrance is a big one. Science is catching up, and they know now that fragrance actually is more damaging to our body than secondhand smoke.
Wow.
And that is a true statistic. So it is extremely toxic to our respiratory system, our neurological system. Both systems is what causes most of the damage, plus our endocrine system. So many things
Mm.
affect our endocrine system. Remember, I had horrible menstrual cycles. I was actually diagnosed in menopause at the age of 36,
Oh,
36 years old.
great.
So I had a lot of stuff happening to that endocrine system and
Mm.
exposure. So let's get rid of fragrance in the home. Let's take a look at what are we cleaning with? What are we washing our bodies with? What are we washing in our laundry with? So those are three key places that we really can focus on and make a huge difference. And ladies, let me tell you, when I remove fragrance from my home, guess what? The headache stopped. I
Wow.
have not had a migraine since I went fragrance free in my home. Not one
Mhm.
single migraine. Vision 100% back. So some changes we can make are immediate
Yeah.
and super impactful.
So you're suggesting like getting unscented? Is
No.
that no? Okay,
No, no, no.
I knew you were gonna go deeper.
We'll go a little bit deeper. Here's the interesting statistic. Unscented is still has all the chemical of fragrance in it, and more chemicals are added to cover up the smell. All
Ah,
right. So we want to buy fragrance free.
fragrance free. Okay.
Fragrance free is the key here. And fragrance, the reason why this is such a big toxic is because fragrance companies can choose from over 44,000 different ingredients. Now they're not using all 44,000. Most when you see that word fragrance, you're going to see about 200 ingredients behind that word. And they don't have to tell you what it is because it's protected under proprietary trade secrets. So we just simply do not know what the ingredients are when it says fragrance. All
Yeah.
right. And I want to give you a tip right now as we're working through this, and we'll touch more about it when we get into absorption as well. The front of your packages. We all know when on our food labels that we need to turn those food labels around and we need to look at how much sugar is in here, what's the fat content, how much sodium is in here. These are kind of some key things, but we need to read the ingredients. And I'm not going to dive into food, that's a whole nother topic, but we need to do the same thing with our products that we use inside of our home. Turn that around and read the ingredients. The front is marketing, it means zero in
Mhm.
terms of if it's safe for ourselves. There are so many things out there, hypoallergenic. They use key marketing terms to make us feel like it's a safer product, and it truly is not. We have to learn to read those ingredients.
Mm, okay. And I know people may not have really thought about reading ingredients of, um, personal care
Right.
products, for example, and house cleaning products, but it's just as important because we still ingest through those pathways as well.
We absolutely do. And let me give you a huge tip here when it comes to reading labels, because we're not all scientists. I'm not a scientist. I don't want to be a scientist. And it's hard to learn how to read the labels. And friends, when you get to those grocery stores and those big box stores, I'm warning you right now, when you start taking those cleaning products and turning them around, there's no ingredient list.
Mm,
It doesn't have anything on there. It might say active ingredient and list that out. And then it says 99% inactive ingredients. That's it. That's it.
mm,
It's crazy that we as consumers don't get that knowledge and information. So, what you can do is you can use an app called Think Dirty. I
think dirty.
love this app. It's absolutely free to download on your phone. I like Think Dirty because there's way more products listed in there. Their database is very, very large, and it has not just skincare and personal care products, but it has your laundry and your cleaning supplies as well. So you can scan or type in the name and it'll give you a rating from 0 to 10. 0 to 3 is safe, and that's what's allowed inside my home. 4 to 7 is considered borderline. You'll see a yellow. It also, I don't do anything 4 to 7, but you can be the determining factor of that. And then 8 to 10 is extremely toxic and certainly products that you don't want to allow into your home. Now,
Mhm.
not only does it give you the rating, but it also will tell you what's in it and why it's dangerous to the human body. And that, my friends, is education and super valuable to you.
Yeah, that's great because I had been using the Environmental Working Group,
Yes.
their website, but I love that app
Hmm.
because you got it with you all the time. It's very
Right.
easy to pop something in there and see. And then, as you said, it's a real great educational tool. When you see, oh, the problem with this, like
Mhm.
I had put in this eyeliner, which was like all supposedly like a natural eyeliner, and it had can't remember what it was that it had in it, but it was like, oh, it's got that.
Oh, eyeliner, you probably had maybe talc, could have been in there. Oh my gosh, there's
Mica. Was it mica?
mica. Yeah, it
I
could
think
have
it
been
was
mica.
mica. And then
Yep.
you're thinking, okay, mica in powder form right by my eyes. Probably no.
I'm telling you, when it comes to once you start making the change over to some toxin-free products and you start getting things inside your home, you'll be amazed at when if you happen to get around the other stuff, how much you
Yeah.
smell the chemicals
I know.
once you make that change.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. We were in a restaurant fairly recently, and I could smell the detergent off the glasses. Like when I was having to
Yes.
drink a drink of water, I was like, it smells soapy. But I'm just so used to not having a fragrant. I have fragrance free stuff, right?
Right,
So
right. Well,
yeah,
and you make a great point is it really important what I do my dishes with? Exactly, because it's the residue is still on those dishes. And that's another, I mean, there's so many, like, as we're just talking here, we're getting into all those layers of,
yes,
it really is a Pandora's box. But again, we want to, start with those first
yeah,
steps. So fragrance is in the air, and it's found in so many products. And so
mhm,
just start. You don't have to go through your house and throw everything away. Just as you empty it out,
right,
choose to make a better option with the
right,
next purchase.
right. So we've been talking about, well, first of all, not getting so many
Right,
exposure to so many
right.
toxins. Let's talk, if you're ready to move on, to talk about detox
Oh,
pathways.
sure. Sure, sure. So, detox, this is the thing. Our bodies get overburdened by toxins, right? And this doesn't just happen by one product and one deal. We've
No,
got a beautiful body that's created to detox. That's what God intended for our body. He knew, he knows the big plan. And so he knows that these bodies can handle what the environment brings to us. The problem is that we overburden when we're using fragrance, fragrance products. We're using products with phthalates and sulfates and parabens. We've got water that's not filtered. We have all this different kind of exposure. The liver gets overburdened, and then all of a sudden we start backing up. And things that happen, and how you might know that your detox system isn't working well, is you have a change in body odor. All right. So
mhm,
that could come through your breath, through your sweat, through your urine or your feces. We can have a change in body odor. We might notice skin conditions happening, rashes, psoriasis, eczema, acne. Backing up, the skin is the largest organ of the body. We might have digestive issues, bloating, gas, diarrhea, or constipation. We might have um, inability to focus and brain fog occurring, insomnia, you're not being able to sleep. So these are some of the symptoms that toxins are backing up inside the body and we're not eliminating and
Mhm.
getting it done. So
Mm.
we have this detox funnel, okay? So it's this funnel, and think of a funnel. It's wide on the top and narrow at the bottom. And the very first place that we start detoxing is through the colon. So one of my questions, and Jane, you work with people, how are you pooping? Right?
Always the number one question.
Yeah. It's one way to really tell how the health of your body is. Are you eliminating daily? Now I'll hear people say, oh, I'm not constipated. Great. How many times are you pooping a day? Well, I poop a couple times a week. I'm sorry to say that's constipated. We want to
Yeah.
eliminate daily and optimally at the same time every day. So I'm a first thing every morning, and then usually I'll have another one throughout the day. That one can be a little inconsistent, but I'm a 1 to 2 times a day person, and always at the same time. And it needs to be easy to get out. If you have
Yes.
to strain to get it out, that's not good either. We want to make sure it's easy, and it should look like a sausage.
I I have that, that's the poop scale that goes with my clients, their forms to like, okay,
Bristol
let's
stool
the
chart.
Bristol stool chart.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's a great, and I know it sounds crazy, but this is really important to
It
understand what it
is.
means, because the way that we're eliminating tells a lot about our body. So,
Mhm.
and if you're not moving daily, drink water. Make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water, and clean water, my friends. Make sure
Mhm.
that it's filtered water. Your EWG site that you were talking about earlier, Environmental Working Group, it's ewg.org is the website. You can type in your zip code, and it will tell you what testing they're finding in your particular water. So that's going to give you the information that you need to know what kind of filtration system you should have for your drinking water.
Okay. Actually, so in Canada, do you know if there's an equivalent in Canada?
Oh boy. Well, if it's ewg.org, can't that be found in Canada as well? Health Canada does a great
Yeah.
job. They might have something within their site as well.
Mhm. I'm
Uh,
gonna look that up afterwards, and
yeah,
if I can find something, I'll share it in the
and
show
I know
notes.
your audience is in Canada. I should have been better prepared. I
Oh, my
apologize
audience
for
is all
that.
over the place. They're in the US, UK, Australia, Canada, all over.
I I hear you. We got to know all this information for everywhere. And I don't know about EWG if they do studies for the different provinces, within Canada, and would have that information. You can certainly order test kits too to
Yeah.
test your own water to know what is in it. But
Mhm.
I just want to speak of that because it's important to have clean water coming into the body.
Yeah.
So drinking more water and taking in more fiber. Ladies, we should have 25 grams of fiber a day. So, look and do a quick search on, foods that are high in fiber, and start adding more of that to your diet. And we always think fruit and vegetables, but there's other foods that are high in fiber as well. Okay.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
next layer of the funnel is the organs that detox for us. So we have the liver, the bile, the kidneys, and the skin. These are all organs. Now the liver, by golly, it's got 500 functions within
Oh,
the
it's got
body.
some it
It
works so hard, and
it
we can't
works.
see it. We
I
can't see it
know.
working hard, but,
It,
yeah, one sign that it is working hard, that was tired, right? Tiredness.
Fatigue.
Yeah.
Fatigue is a big one, a big issue. Skin issues can be a big sign of liver in function there. And what we want to do with this, there's so many things. Again, drinking lots of water helps flush out the kidneys. It's a great thing. But the liver's got a phase 1 and a phase 2 detox. And I don't want to get into like massive detail here with you.
Mhm.
But we need certain things in certain different functions. And, phase 1, takes all of the toxins and makes them water soluble so that the body can eliminate them out.
Mm,
But by doing that, it also creates free radicals
mhm.
and oxidants inside the body. So, not so good. And we want to make sure they're eliminating out. But if we've got a blockage in between the liver and the bile so that it can't be eliminated out, we get those symptoms that I talked about earlier as well. So we need to make sure there's no blockage in between the two. And there's a lot of foods that we can eat to support the liver. Gosh, I just did a talk on this yesterday. You would think I've got those top of my crucifer vegetables are really,
Yeah.
really good to support the liver and the phases. Glutathione is super important for both phase 1 and phase 2 of the liver.
Mhm.
So there's some foods that can help support glutathione production in the body. I happen to take an activator that really pumps up the body's production of glutathione, which is our master antioxidant inside the body as well. So, ladies think reverse aging, which
We
is a
all
good
like that.
and then skin, get out and sweat, get your body moving. That's another great thing that we can do to start eliminating is get out and move. Remember when you had babies, and I have 12 grandkids, so I got into this practice again. If they're colicky and they're not having bowel movements, I was taught to kind of take their legs and move them up towards their chest, kind of like a bicycle. Think about
Yes.
the bicycle exercise, and that crunching movement gets things moving in the digestive system so that it can move
Mm.
out. So movement is good, not just for the skin and to get things sweating and moving out of the body.
I teach yoga, and I know there's so many different yoga moves that help
Oh,
with digestion and getting all those organs moving. So yeah, it's movement is critical. We're
yeah.
not meant to like just sit there.
No, we are, and you can tell I'm at a standing desk. That's super beneficial too. If you can, take time. I do. I go in between standing and sitting so that I'm not at a constant sitting motion. All right. So the
Great.
second layer of the detox funnel. Let's talk about that third layer, and then we'll see what kind of time we have to keep on
Okay.
going. But
Oh yeah.
the lymphatic system is really, really important to support. And I also want to say too to our audience, number one, if you're not eliminating daily, please don't move on to levels 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the detox funnel because you're going to back up even worse and you're going to make yourself feel worse. Has everybody heard of the detox crazies where you can almost feel flu-like?
Yeah.
You can create more things happening inside the body. So if we're not eliminating daily, that's your number one goal is to
Right.
get there.
Yeah.
Don't move on to supporting the liver and kidneys. Don't move on to supporting the lymphatic system until we get that cleared.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure everybody knows that, but I like to preface that. Lymphatic system. This is your body's sewer drainage system, but it doesn't move on its own. It is not attached to an organ like the heart or a muscle that's going to,
Mhm.
move it through the body. We have to move it manually. So things that we can do are dry brushing. I love, love, love to dry brush,
Mhm.
and there's a way that we want to be able to do that. We can also rebound a little mini trampoline, bounce. We can put the legs up the wall. The yoga pose where
Yes.
scoot your bottom to the wall, put
Yeah.
your legs up the wall. That helps with that
Yeah.
lymphatic drainage.
And
Um,
and and any movement helps, right? Any movement.
any movement helps, yes. And if you don't have a dry brush, you can use your fingers,
Mhm.
to get things moving. Ladies, if you've got bra fat here, that may not be bra fat, but may be fluid in your lymph nodes. This is a key area for lymph
Mm.
nodes. This is a key area for lymph nodes around your stomach and the groin area.
I'm sure I'm sure everyone's watching this and
You're
doing
like,
all.
and so here's so real key on the lymph nodes. Go down from the face. We're going to go all down towards the heart, Everything is going towards the heart. Eliminate up at the top first. When we go to our limbs, do the top part of your arm and then the
Mm.
whole arm. Okay.
Yeah.
I go down around the breast on both sides. I go around in a clockwise direction around the stomach. I'm going to clear that groin area first, coming up towards the heart, and then down to the ankles and the feet. So we want to clear the closest to the heart first, and then move outwards.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Are there YouTube videos for people? There must be if they did a
There
search.
are lots and lots, and you can check those out.
Okay.
Lots, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I always tell everybody with everything, right? Just do it. Just
Mhm.
start. And I used to dry brush the wrong way. I'm still sure I got benefit from it, but now that I know to clear these upper areas first, because
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that, you know, I still had some benefit, and now it's even better. Hot and cold therapy, super good.
Yeah.
Not just for the lymphatic system, but for the immune system of the body as well. You can
Mhm.
do that in the shower, just towards the end of your shower. Like what I do is I have, conditioner on my hair. I've got suds all over my body. I turn it to cold, and then I'm going to rinse off the body. I'm up to about 2 minutes in cold water at the end of the
Oh.
shower. And that's the way I end my shower. You can do 30 seconds cold, turn it back to hot, 30, go back and
Mhm.
forth. Lots of different variations on that as well.
I find the cold is a lot colder in winter than it is in the summer.
Yes,
So
yes, it
I
is. I used to too. We had a house in Mesa where I had a pool in the backyard that we did not heat. If we had company coming over, we would turn the heat on. So I would do my infrared sauna, and then I would jump out into the pool. It was like 50 degrees, so not shocker for the body.
I was doing cold water dips in the winter
Yes.
here. And that
Oh, amazing. Yes, I saw
yeah.
you're running out and doing. Did you just start with the kids first? Were the
Yes.
kids doing it?
My daughter was visiting and her partner, so I kinda started with them and then I kept it going, and it was
You
actually so refreshing and I knew there's health benefits, and I just felt
oh,
when I did it.
that is total hero status right there, Jane, because I mean,
I
you
don't
were
know about
out
that, but
in the lake with crunching through the ice.
well, I've seen some other videos of people where they like literally cut a hole in the ice. Like I was still like in open water, so
You
I
were in open water, but there were days where it was snowing, and I love those videos. Those were awesome.
it's fun. But yeah, so it's just great for just flushing the system, right?
Oh, and when you just get over that initial shock and just go do it, it energizes you. You
Mhm.
feel so good, and it
Mhm.
gets everything circulating. So think about all the benefits you have when the blood is circulating through the body, and
Yeah.
you've got the oxygen intake that's up so high in the body. It's just so beneficial.
It is. It is. Okay, so we're oh my goodness, we're past the 30-minute mark now. We could talk all day.
Oh yeah.
So is there anything we haven't covered that you really just want to make sure people hear?
I don't think so. I mean,
I got it. Okay.
there's always lots that we can cover, but I think, in just closing, I want people to just remember you don't have to do everything at once. That
Yes.
it's
Baby step.
the 1% add up to 100% just as much as the 50%, the 60s, the
Yeah.
70%. So just dip that toe in
Yeah.
and
I
just
love that.
start somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Okay. So that I love that because it just gives people permission to just like anything that you do is
Yes.
better than not doing it, right? So any little thing, and then you just kind of create little habits, little new habits, and then it grows from there. So I always ask at the end of the show, what's one action someone could take today to improve their health? I got a feeling yours is going to be around toxins and detoxing.
Of course it is. So here's the thing, ladies. Since I'm talking to ladies today, I want you looking at your products and taking everything out that have parabens in it. That
Mm,
is the number one key toxic ingredient for women that are affecting your
yeah,
hormones, that are affecting your anxiety, your stress, your emotional health. It's affecting everything within your body.
yeah.
So look for the word paraben and get it out of your home.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a major endocrine disruptor. So endocrine
Huge. It
systems
is
are hormones, right? So
hormones. It is found in every single breast cancer tumor, and 1 in 2 women now are diagnosed with breast cancer. It is a huge uh,
Mhm.
problem. We've got awareness of the yin yang, and I'm telling you that this is a highly preventable disease. I know that genes play a factor, but we've got to get rid of those endocrine disrupting chemicals, and parabens is a key
Mhm.
factor.
Yeah. And I'll just throw in there that we've thought genes are play a role, and they probably do, but epigenetics tells us that less than 2% of our genetic coding is or our disease genetic coding covers things we can't change. The other more than 98% are responding to the environment, right? So this is part of the environment. You create an environment that doesn't
Right.
have that paraben in it.
Right, because the gene is there. The gene is there in every person for disease or not disease. It
Yeah.
has to be triggered.
Yes,
And what triggers it? Your environment. The
exactly.
lifestyle choices, what you eat, how you move the body, and the toxins that you're exposed to,
Yeah.
that is your environment.
Aimee, this has been so good, so good. Great information. And I know that you've got a gift to give to the audience, and I'll have that link. It's your free download of Blacklist Ingredients ebook.
Yes. Yes.
So, so generous of you. Yeah.
That is
So,
your cheat sheet. I go through the laundry room, the bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen, and I give you a whole list of ingredients to avoid.
perfect, perfect. And I'll have all your links there. So just check below and you can find out where to find Aimee, her website, and all her social media handles, and the link to get that free download. So, Aimee, thank you so much for being on the show today. This has been so fantastic. And we've had some people watching, giving us the thumbs up. So that's great. And I know that when people watch it on the replay as well, they're going to love it. And this just such valuable information. So thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you. I love sharing this topic, and I love making a difference for women and
Mm,
transforming their lives. Thank you.
yeah. Well, thank you for the work that you're doing in the world.
You bet.
Bye.